live and direct from some very, 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 very relieved people. I have just taken all my month's supply of blood pressure tablets at once because that was very, very, very horrible. But we won, so that's good. Anyway, that's nice. It's nice that we won. And I'll be honest, for the first 20 minutes, I thought we looked really good. And then until we scored. And then we were horrid and lucky. But we're through. So then we'll take that.
Yeah, how great is VAR, by the way?
No, VAR. I've never done. You see, the European version of VAR is fantastic.
Yes, clearly, as I've mentioned on many of these other calls, it's done in the continent, and I think it's global competitions much better than it is domestically, and that again was shown tonight. Yes, it may look a bit lucky, but it is in fact the laws of the game from the IFAB were officially changed last month, and it meant it officially meant that shoulders. You can score with the shoulder, and therefore, as it's a scoring part of the body, if it's a head, then you're offside. So in that sense, the decision was implemented brilliantly. There will no doubt be some moaning.
You'd be pissed if it were the other way around.
I
know it was technically correct, but which is the best kind of correct. But
very true.
I felt really fortunate with that because we'd still be watching the game right now since Jota did not just his scoring boots, just his boots. He didn't have any boots on. What's going on out there? I mean, I remember my first game. Like, man, poor guy.
What's happened to Diogo in the last several weeks? Honestly, when he's good, but when he blows cold, dear Lord, and that was a serious stinker. That could have easily cost us if Olympiacos had thrown it a bit more, as they should have done towards the end.
He could have had a hat trick almost. Like, I don't know.
Jimenez could have had obviously a second if that Rabona had gone in. What a beautiful goal that would have been. It was a very, very just typical Raul Jimenez, though, someone who just is confident going forward. Clearly, I think Diogo can probably learn from Raul in the senses of this is what I'm able to do.
He needs to go with his he needs to go with his emotions and just do the first decision. I think he's thinking too much. So, and you can tell it's like, do I do this? Do I do that? Do I do this? Do I do? Oh, I've lost it. I think that's what's doing it for me.
Yes.
But good cash.
I thought when we lost Johnny, that wasn't a good bit because I don't think Vinagre played brilliantly. Because I don't think he's better than Johnny. I don't think he's bad. I just don't think he's as good as Johnny, which is how Johnny plays. I thought Doherty was pretty poor this evening, and not pretty poor. I thought he was very poor, to be honest. I thought the middle. Sorry,
who was poor?
I thought Doherty was pretty poor.
Yeah, he looks knackered.
Yeah, maybe he's just knackered. That's fair enough, but it was very poor. I thought the three at the back were good. They were fairly solid, but if
Cody's bringing some beautiful passes across the field as well.
And the one he put through for
I think it was Podence, I think, wasn't it? Where Podence then hit it and it was saved over the bar.
It was a lovely ball through. Absolutely lovely.
We're going to see without that.
Sorry, it was for Doherty, actually. It was for Doherty and he knocked it back. That one was lovely. It was absolutely slide rule, that was. And it was lovely. But The midfield two midfield two in the first 20 minutes were great. It was only when we sat right back.
Some people,
I mean, I think we've said it pretty much every game, every game bar the Everton one, that every time where we've sat back, we just look gash, or I want a better word, garbage, or any other word beginning with G, which is bad. But
if it was, well, clearly one thing though is we managed to somehow hold it out instead of the FA Cup semi-final, and clearly people can therefore say, even if it was done only just, lessons have been learnt from it, of sitting back and holding a lead, and in this case getting away with it. But the back three obviously being a key element of it, with them not being as bad as not being too bad at all tonight. Of course we could want everyone to play better, but they did the job at the end of the day, and that's what mattered. No rash challenges, neither from them inside the box or on the edge of the box, which could obviously has hampered us sometimes, I note as well. So it's they just stuck to their task, and even if it looked like it was going to end badly, it thankfully didn't, and that was obviously a relief.
But that's it. I mean, as I was saying to speak to you before, just before we came on, it's like, but it showed in the last 5 or 10 minutes that if you hold, I mean, I understand fully that you want to keep it, keep your shape, don't go flying forward, don't, so that you keep it tight at the back and all that. But we showed in the last 5 to 10 minutes, you don't have to go gung ho to keep hold of the ball. If we've got the ball, they can't score. It's as simple as that. Yep. If we spend 40 odd minutes sitting, or slightly a lot more than that, sitting back, and every time we get the ball, we just lump it up and hope that one of the front three might get it, and invariably it comes straight back, and give the other team an attack. It's just a matter of time, like has happened in the games since the lockdown ended.
Mm-hmm.
You get punished for it, and as we're playing better and better sides, it's a really, really dangerous game. It really is. And I hope we now got into the last bit, this last part of this tournament, and we put it to bed for this tournament, because but it's knockout, isn't it now?
It is. It is 3 straight games. There's no second legs, no second chances.
So bin that idea. Get goals up front, then keep the ball. That's all I ask.
We're not learning any lessons at this point. They haven't learned a lesson in any of the games since the restart. Because every week we're like, oh, next game they're gonna get it right. So I'm not entirely confident, but should you be completely confident in being a upstart team, so to speak, in the quarterfinals of an international tournament? I don't know, but we will be without Podence. Is that correct?
Yeah.
He picked up that red card for dissent, I'm guessing, as he was going off, or was it just for taking too long off the pitch? I don't even know.
Yeah, I believe it was for taking too long to get off the pitch, which I think is a bit harsh, because if he's that short, obviously his stride is a lot shorter. Therefore, it would take longer to get off the pitch. Is it a yellow card?
It's an absolutely disgraceful rule, quite frankly. He did his job at the end and then came off. As he should. It's one of those rules which is just gonna. Well, it's going to damage us massively. With it being the way it is. In fact, he came off the pitch and did what was stipulated at the end of the day. It's quite he didn't take
the shortest route. That's I understand the technicality behind it. He didn't choose the shortest route. It's absolutely insane. But as I said, he's only got little legs.
It's just like the taking off the shirt rule. It's completely balmy. It's absolutely outrageous. Such a rule. Technically, I get it, but for heaven's sake, honestly, we now because of such incompetence from a referee, we now have lost one of our vital players for Tuesday. If there's any chance of appealing it, we should. I don't think we can.
I'd have Neto in his place if I'm being honest. I think it'll be Jota, but I would have Neto in there.
I would
starting after that performance. No way.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
I can't see it. I can't. Maybe he does need to start that so he can warm up and then go straight into the game. Maybe that was it. But you're a professional footballer and you can't keep the ball at your feet one-on-one with keepers, so probably not. The no for me, dog.
What, sorry? Didn't catch that last bit.
No. Just said it's a no for me. For John.
I think clearly our collective hot take should be Neto should start. Neto should start on Tuesday without a question. He looks much sharper than Diogo has pretty much since post lockdown.
Yeah.
That cannot be more clearer. And he would deserve to start, I think, with the impetus he's able to give down the wings. He's obviously still going to improve on his goal scoring capabilities, but he will get there. And I think a game like Tuesday, where I'm sure we're going to go all out. I hope we will go all out, considering obviously the scale of the prize that is potentially within reach in 15 days' time, that he could really make some damage. He could do some serious damage to Valencia. Yes, they have. To Sevilla. They certainly do have a very good squad, and obviously no one should underestimate them, considering they've won that. Considering they've lifted that trophy, the UEFA Cup, as the trophy is known, 7.5 kilos or what, 5 times in about 11 years, as it was. They like Olympiacos. They're not going to be pushovers at all. Qualify for the Champions League quite comfortably as well in La Liga, up in 4th place, I think. So I think as a game like that, it would be we need to go with clearly our sharpest and best looking players on the pitch who are available. And Diogo is simply at the moment not that. He's much better as an impact substitute at the moment, as he obviously.
Hot take incoming. In reply to what you said, Cash, Wolves don't have an all-out attacking formation. That does not exist. There's you could put 7 attacking players on there, and we've seen that, and it's the same. That was even worse than what we normally have. So we just dink and dunk, man. It doesn't exist. For better or for worse, right? Because you don't want to play a stretched game for 90 minutes. But I'm assuming they're doing extra time. They have to do extra time for these, right? For the knockout stage.
I don't know.
Let me try and have a look at the. Rules. I think it's going to be extra time and penalties, I believe.
So that performance will not do it on Tuesday, though.
Yes, that's clear as mud. That's clear. That is clear as mud.
Well, I don't know. I think the formation could do it. I think the mentality wouldn't, though. Because when as I said, the first 20 minutes, if we played like that for most of the game, I think we win that 2 or 3-0.
Yeah,
maybe, and they may have got 1, but we'd have easily scored more. It was the mentality after the first goal. It was as soon as that goal went in, you saw our players retreated back.
Mm-hmm.
That was the plan, and it's
which is a real shame. It's a real shame as well. Now, I say the first 20 minutes we started very well. Who cares the way we get a penalty? We get a penalty, and Raul Jimenez being Raul Jimenez is pretty much 99% probably going to convert it, as he did. I say up until pretty much just before the first quarter had ended, essentially, in the sense of the first half of the first half, we look good. But then it was a case. But then obviously it became clear that the game plan was to try and execute a very stern 1-0 win, of which, as I say, I didn't think most of social media didn't think we'd be able to hold on in the end. And this is completely understandable, where obviously the season just passed in the league. That had been shown with the late goals we'd conceded.
We were under siege. We were fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they
fortunate.
You obviously made a few like incredible saves, and there was that shot that curler that just brushed the top of the net. That had three. So
and I note as well. I note as well that when we came forward the few times that we didn't look too bad at all. We did not look too bad, and obviously had a few chances with Jimenez's Rabona, the shot from Moutinho, which went just over the bar. That would have been a very lovely goal if that had gone in and obviously killed them off. That would have killed them off completely. And so our attacking ability is very much there, and a good number of corners as well in that second half. Why can't we be able to use it?
I say Podence had a shot, didn't he? Bolly was just
half a yard.
You know, we can do it. It's but we've got to want to do it. That's the thing. And I have to say, I don't think that was never really planned, which is it does concern me a little, because I honestly thought we got rid of that just before the lockdown. We'd stopped doing that, and it's crept back in since we've restarted. I don't know whether it's some sort of technique to try and preserve energy or something like that. I don't know, but I hate it. I'm sorry, I hate it. I think it's counterproductive, and I think it's very, very risky. Because it's just a matter of time. If you keep giving to another team chance after chance after chance, they eventually will score.
Yes. Olympiacos simply just fluffed it with the number of chances they had. We obviously, I think as well, can say that Olympiacos can probably think that they can say the famous phrase of "Don't say that we didn't have chances." We also had chances, but they didn't take theirs. End of the day, except the offside goal in the end. But they clearly had a huge number of chances, particularly in the second half, coming forward, pinning Scenario in half, going at it, being able to get round the wing back line. So on many occasions, floating decent-ish balls into the box. Their strikers, I think one of their defenders who was very good. I think we could certainly be one for us to try and pick up. I forgot his name. He in fact was forward as well towards the end. It was pretty much a makeshift striker. They were just going. They were going for it. I don't blame him at all. And that's the. So say if we can take that mentality into Tuesday of just let's see what we can do by wanting to, do as we did in the first 20 minutes, then hopefully that will help. But we got away with it. To put it bluntly.
There's a hot take coming in from this screen. I think we'll play actually really well in the next game, because the next game is coming so soon. We always seem to play better, I think, when we have games close together. We seem to struggle when we have a break. I don't know whether we overthink it in the break because we've had so much time. I don't know, but when there's a lot of games a lot closer together, we seem to perform a lot better in those sequences of games. Our first one back after a break is generally pretty awful, and then we seem to get really good in the games afterwards. So I'm going to take that. That's my hot take.
I hope you're right, but when was the last time we lost in Germany?
That's a very good question. No idea.
We got that going for us.
Are you asking that because you don't know, or is that a trivia question?
I don't know.
When did we even last play in Germany in, say, European competition?
The man with the facts.
Let me have a look on Wikipedia. Let me see if we even have done so on. Let me even have a look to see if we've done so. I don't even know if we have.
Well, David, I hope that you're right.
The last time we did was the last time we played a German side was in the second round of the 73-74 UEFA Cup. This is according to Wikipedia, because there's a nice little table and so forth with all the results.
That's what I meant. I meant to say that.
That one. I remember it well, as it was the year I was born.
We played against Lokomotiv Leipzig which is a smaller club, very smaller club who are in I think the regional leagues in Germany now. Won the home leg 4-1, but lost the away leg 3-0. Went out on away goals.
East German as well, I believe.
Yes, you were right. But then the one before that, we did beat Karl Zeiss Jena. That was in our run. That was in the run to the final in '72 by 4-0 on aggregate. And then the ones before that, we 58 lost in the prelims one in the preliminary round of the 60 UEFA European Cup, which we got to the quarters and then got spanked by Barca. And then lost to Schalke in the first season we were in Europe, which was the first round of the European Cup. So we've had a mixed bag. I think 2 wins, 2 losses against German sides. So it stands at neutral. But I think, as I say, this is a one-off tournament. This is a very unique tournament, which I think UEFA should take forward, in all honesty, because it will bring much more hype and drama towards the end of the season.
Absolutely, yeah.
I quite like this idea, and I hope it goes forward potentially.
Nice to have it. Is the final on a Saturday?
Friday.
Oh, was it
Friday. Friday 20th.
For a barbecue, that.
Friday 21st. But as I say, this is I think we were able to just about sustain the pressure tonight, and that was in a sense. It wasn't obviously quite a one-off game, knowing it would have been an extra time if they'd levelled it.
Have all these sides, have these guys all qualified for Champions League? Because then Inter, United, Sevilla, Olympiacos. Like, how many of them are already in the Champions League? Like, obviously, you're going to want to win a major tournament. Nobody's going to lay down for it. But if we have desperation on our side.
No, you're right. I think that's one thing which people have noted, that the numbers who have qualified for the Champions League are quite sufficient. So we've got, looking at this, we have Manchester United, we have Inter Milan. I think only those 2 might have done. I'm not sure. Manchester United, Inter Milan, in terms of obviously who's the left.
I've done it.
I think that's it in terms of in the group stages anyway. Shakhtar Donetsk, of course, as well. They won the Ukrainian league. So three of them are there. Olympiacos obviously had till tonight. Istanbul Başakşehir did, but obviously got knocked out yesterday against Copenhagen. Copenhagen, I think, are also in the. I think Copenhagen are obviously also there as well. I can't see where they are. They're on this table, but they're there. So at least half of them are in the Champions League, which could be which could mean a very fascinating scenario where some may accidentally take their feet off the gas, but there is silverware up for grabs. So one suspicion would be that they, on the whole, wouldn't. But you never quite know with European football as to what could occur. As I say, Olympiacos though have to are in the third qualifying round because of Greece's position in the coefficient ranking, so they've still got to navigate 2 games at least for them to get even into the group stage. So we've just made their task a bit harder.
Well, that's how they ended up in the Europa this year, anyway, right? They didn't get through that stage, so.
Indeed, I say the winner, by the way, as was clarified, we win, we go straight into the group stage, and there's no detriment on the other 7 clubs who have qualified from England because of the special berth that there is for the Europa League winner. So there would be 8 English clubs in Europe if we went on to win this, which would be quite cool.
Let's win it. Let's bring in Ronaldo and let's do it.
So, can we have some player ratings?
Rui Patricio, clearly player rating can certainly say man of the match. Player rating and man of the match, I think, can go together quite easily, and that being obviously Rui Patricio. Rui, I think with a, do you know what? I'm going to say 10. As he just nailed everything. The save in the first half was very good, and then obviously the second one was much more pressure with Olympiacos being as frantic as they were coming forward. Just such a high pressure
he's the
moment.
player who's took us through. You know, for me anyway. Because he kept us in that.
Simply majestic. Absolutely majestic tonight. Which the fact we were still able to get him in on. Obviously, in the end, it was at first a free deal, and obviously in the end, it was £18 million or so. What a bargain! What a bargain! Every single penny is worth it.
Definitely, absolutely, definitely.
I think the centre backs as well deserve fair amount of credit. With
I'd give them. I think I'd give them a collective 7.
Obviously, Jimenez would get a mark or 2 up with for the penalty, because a goal's a goal. End of the day, and then I'd
have Johnny on a 7. I'd have Doherty on a 4. I'd have Vinagre on a 6.
Did a little bit better defensively, I think. From what I saw,
he got a bit better on. He got better as the game went on.
He did.
Fair enough. He did come. He did come on.
Traore was out there, right?
Oh no! You see, I don't think in the first half Traore should have had that much abuse, because I think they were overloading the marking on his side, which allowed Podence to have a lot more space.
Yeah.
So just by being on the pitch, he had worth.
He was being rough.
I did think
he was being ruffled as well.
Yeah, and I do think just before we went off, he was just starting to get into the game.
He was being ruffled as well. Obviously, I think people looking at. I think there was. I forgot what one bit, but it's just Adama's strength. Him being penalised for a foul because of his body mass.
Should he be? Should he start though, or is he better as an impact sub on Tuesday?
Now that's the problem with Podence being suspended. It obviously gives Nuno a conundrum as to does he go with a slightly out of form Adama or a fully out of form Jota if he sticks with the system. Along with
the top and Dendoncker in the midfield with those two.
I could see that happening. First half will be 5 in the middle, 2 up top. Try not to concede. And then it'll be Jota and
Jimenez.
And then a massive space, and then the rest of the Wolves side. And then in the second half, it'll be they'll do it for a little bit longer, and then they'll bring on Traore and Neto and revert to the 3 up top and
go for it.
Hopefully, if we haven't conceded, we can go on and win it.
Yeah. Absolutely, and that's certainly I think a plausible option with, and obviously as well the Dendoncker when he's fairly decent attacking. He obviously his pace helps, so I think he would complement. Say Jimenez and Jota.
I would also be very tempted to, if Johnny is fully fit and he's only just tweaked something and it was more precautionary going off, I would actually bring Johnny back into the side, keep Vinagre in, and put Doherty on the bench. Because Doherty has been so off the boil.
Not good at all.
And it could, as I say, it could just be tiredness, or it could be an easy kick up the arse. I don't know which, because he hasn't really got any competition. But it's equally likely he gets through a shitload of work. Playing the wing back role is the hardest one on the pitch, I think. But I don't know. What annoys me most is he looks surprised when he gets the ball sometimes. Which I'm like, surely you should never be surprised to be getting the ball.
No, absolutely, entirely understandable.
But as I say, it could just be he's absolutely cream crackered.
After 12 and a quarter months playing, it would be understandable. Pretty much almost no rest, obviously, except during the break, but just obviously having to train and stuff.
But I don't think it's physical fitness. It's mental. It is definitely mental. It's the mental side of the game. And but he did go through it. I do think earlier on in his career he went through periods where he got a bit, I'm going to say lazy. I know people will scream and go, "No, he's not lazy." I don't mean lazy as in he doesn't run up and down the pitch. I mean he goes, just switches off sometimes, and he did go through a phase of doing that in the past. Then he got rid of it, and then he was really good. And it looks like it's starting to creep back in his game. And I don't know whether that is, again, it could just be tiredness, but it could also be the lack of pressure for his place. Because I don't think Burr is really pressuring him for his place. He doesn't look anywhere near like he's there purely if he gets completely injured. So with just a little bit of competition, spice him up a bit, or is it purely he just needs a break? Maybe either way, he's looking off the boil.
Yeah, maybe a bit of both, but perhaps obviously apparently we've inquired. Apparently there's rumours today, but we've inquired about Max Aarons from Norwich, solid young English right back. Obviously we could dip into. Obviously Burr or Luke Matheson if required, but obviously that would be so much pressure on their young shoulders. It would be enormous at this point.
It would. Or if we're easing out, or if we're comfortable, let's say we score 2 or 3, it might happen, and we are do that. Give him a rest. Don't play him the whole game.
Yeah.
If we're far enough ahead, some of these players are starting to look tired. Just give them a rest. Don't play them for 90 minutes. But I don't know. I'm not a manager. What do I know? We're in the European semi-final for the first time in God knows how long. What nonsense am I talking?
Well, it would be, I say the only time we've gone to European semi-final was obviously in '72 when we got to the final, eventually against Spurs. Forgot who we played in the semi. But just to note, so that's
the thing. I think it is right at this point to actually say, "Well done for getting there." We're all very, very pleased. We might be whinging a bit, but that's what we do. We're fans.
Exactly.
But we are also incredibly happy that you've got there. That's really
exactly. It's the first time. It's only twice it's happened before. 1960 and then 1972. Give me a second.
What are we doing? Sorry, I got distracted.
Cash has just shot somebody.
It happens. He had a good run.
I have to shut the door because Mum and my twin are having a interesting sounding discussion. But as I say, it's a huge moment. It's an absolutely brilliant, marvelous moment. As you say, it's only the third time ever. It's a who knows where we can go who knows how it could happen on Tuesday. You just never quite know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We basically now have a free hit at doing something quite special. And if it means doing it the hard way, as I think we're going to have to, particularly if it is Manchester United in the semis, then so be it. So be it.
No, we can beat them.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine us against Inter in a final. Is that? Am I getting ahead of myself?
We can beat them. I'll stick with my hot take from a long while ago. We'll win this.
Although we'll say yesterday for most of the first half, Inter looked dreadful. Getafe themselves probably ruining those chances.
Don't jinx it.
I'll shut up.
Well, we've got United in our pocket, right? So we just have to win on Tuesday, and we're in the final. So
pretty much, yeah.
But I wouldn't rule out Copenhagen's bringing a surprise on United. Stale Solbakken, ironically, as Copenhagen's manager. Imagine that for a semi-final. That would be carnage. An old adversary is probably one of Wolves' worst managers in history.
Oh, he's not. I liked him, but I imagine people are now saying, well, that says a lot. But I did genuinely like him, and I thought he was dealt a bad hand. Wasn't and should have been backed by the club and not back the dreadful little cabal of players who then
Abysmal.
saw fit to take us down. Because when he went, we weren't in a relegation position.
And then we obviously bring in Dean Saunders and
man,
oh man.
I'm not going to say anything about Dean Saunders because I'll probably get taken to court.
And just to say, actually, I certainly think this is the case. All yellow cards will not be carried forward. I think UEFA amended the rules in the lockdown. I think we're going to be right on that. Yellow cards will expire. Let me try and double.
We might have some breaking news for the thousands listening live.
It says all yellow cards and pending yellow card suspensions expire on the completion of the playoffs. There'll be in addition, all yellow cards expire on the completion of the round of 16. They are not carried forward to the quarters. So I think we might have got away with it.
So let's just put Poden at the top, and Traore. Just Poden. He's our spark.
He is. I think he is. I think he's a great signing. Absolutely. I love the way he plays. Absolutely love it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Any transfers, or are we skipping that and going straight to predictions?
Transfers? No, I don't know.
I think the only thing we've heard, or again rumored, is Max Aaron's being inquired about, which Bacedo would be enough, which would be an option for Matt end of the day, and I think he's all right at Norwich, so why not? That's the only thing. That's the only proper, I think, shred of.
What was it? Paulinho? Is it
Paulinho and Paulinho?
Paulinho, I don't know.
Both from Braga, clearly doing a raid on obviously our group stage opponents, but they were I think two of the best players from their bunch when we played them twice.
Yeah.
But that's about it essentially. I think on transfer rumors, it's still early days. There's still 2 months of the window.
Well, that's it. Teams are still playing, aren't they? So
yeah, it ends on the 5th of October. So we've still got a lot of time to comprehend and play with. And obviously, if we win the Europa League, then obviously more pride money to hopefully use. At least, hopefully, we won't be unlike Arsenal, who've still given Aubameyang a new contract and are looking at looking apparently likely at Willian and Coutinho coming in, but sacking 55 staff. I think it does go hit home what Corona has done.
No politics. We've got forum specifically for that.
Yes, of course. Absolutely. I make use of that.
I'll hide it somewhere. Anyway, predictions then. So, predictions for the next game. So it's a one-off game.
It's going to be uncomfortable. It's a brand new environment. It's obviously we've been in knockout tournaments every season, but this just feels different. Normally you're expecting 2 legs for this matchup. So that's why they play the game. Anything can happen in 90 minutes. The ball wiggles away, and Bonatini puts one in and sends us to the Premier League. 30 or 46 games later. I forget how the championship works. But anyway, let's go. We have to go with Wolves. Losing 2-1.
No. Ooh.
You're off.
I'm going to keep doing it.
Cash.
Again, well, I say free hit on Tuesday. Chance of now 3 games away from something quite marvellous. It's dreaming is for free. I'm going to say 2-1. Again, it will be quite narrow, just as all these games are. Yes, Sevilla won 2-0 earlier on this evening against Roma. They looked fairly comfortable. But say if we perform in the way in which we did in the opening 20 minutes across the whole game, across pretty much the majority of the game, then I think we would look good. We would look very good to hopefully go on and do something. And say it did got to go with Wolves. Jimenez to score. I think if anyone was to, no idea who would get the other, but you never quite know. It's a completely different territory we're in now, and we've got to I think back the boys where we can. And seeing as and no doubt the City will hopefully be the City in the next couple of days will step that up further with flags out of windows perhaps and whatever, who knows. But anything to give the boys inspiration, I think will further give them a boost. There's a chance of some history. No doubt that will motivate them. So I'm going to say 2-1 Wolves and Jimenez to get a winner.
Well, I am going to say a nice, clean, Wolves-friendly 2-0.
Be nice. You're dreaming, Bod.
No dream. Comfortable, easy, controlled 2-0.
And I hope you're right. Hope I'm wrong.
It'll be the Cadillac of performances.
Just a nice ease our way into our semi-final. So we'll do it.
Definitely.
And then hopefully say Man United get knocked out by a Style Solbakken masterclass, and then obviously things will get even more interesting. It will be. As I say, I think we could potential to thrive in a very different environment. It's a new ball game for everybody. It's essentially a World Cup style tournament for
I think it'd be quite good.
And so I hope you wait for keep it.
Unless Wolves go out and then it'll be awful and I hate it and they should never do it again.
Yes, then maybe not. But if it's going to cause drama, it has the potential to cause havoc, and that's what we like.
Cool. Right. Well, I'm going to end this whole thing there because I'm tired. I'm worn out.
I need sleep,
and my heart needs a rest from all that excitement and anger and whatever was going on in that game.
It's tea time. It's just now tea.
Well, you go and have your cup of tea, and we'll go. So, if you want to join us next time on Tuesday evening, please come and join us. The link will be out there. Otherwise, goodbye all.
Adios. See you Tuesday.
Bye, whoever you are.